keep up to date with our latest videos, please hit the subscribe button below.
Hi there, welcome to this video from racingbetdata.com. Today what we're going to show you in this video is something that will hopefully answer a lot of questions that we get, and that is how do we use output from our database or daily files towards automating your betting or trading. So there's several separate pieces of software available. So you've got BetAngel from Peter Webb, there's Geekstoy, and there's Gruss software. So those are the three most popular, I would say, software automation betting platforms that you can download. Now in this video I'm going to be using Gruss. It's the one that we get asked about probably the most, and they also offer integration with Excel and a free 30-day trial as well. So that is what we're set up on to demo today using Gruss. And the way we're going to show you is very simple, and you can elaborate further. So hopefully this will just give you an idea of how you can go about doing it, and then build the blocks on top of that to add other layers of automation on top of it. So this is very simple, straightforward, how you can export your selections and then import them into Gruss. So we're by no means experts with Gruss or Geeks or BetAngel, so if you want any more advice on how to use the software, you're better off asking the providers of that software itself. So what we're going to show you is how you can get horses from your results selection criteria and triggered into the automated betting software. So I'm going to use the pre-race download file. You can use the results, the data dashboard if you're generating your selections that way. Maybe that you've got your criteria set up and you've saved that as a selection, and whatever selections are in there, you then export that to Excel. It'll work the same way, but just as a visual, we're going to use the pre-race download for today, and we're going to export that to Excel. As you can see, there we go. It's exporting and ready to go. I'm going to open up this file, and here we have the selections. So we're going to go to this panel here, and I'm going to select today, and let's select pace rating of 10. So we're going to select all horses, and like I said, I'm not creating a system here, I'm literally just generating output. Now here are the horses that we've got lined up and the times that they're running. So I'm just going to take a copy of that, and I'm going to plonk it into a blank workbook that I already have here, and let's just paste those in, and we can create time, horse name, and let's rename this selections. Now this blank file is going to form the basis of our automation. So this is the channel, if you like, that pushes the selections into the automated software. So now we have those selections that we've generated, and like I said, you can automate that further. So if you've got some Visual Basic or some other automation software, you can program it and code it to export those without having to do the clicking and the flicking and the opening of files. But again, that's another level. So to keep this video to the point, we're going to show you how you can do it in a manual step, and then if you'd like to automate that further, you can do. We're going to go back to sheet 1, and I've got Gruss open here. Now I'm going to select the first race here. It's actually just closed, so let's go to the 2 o'clock, and to log this to Excel. So this is the key thing about Gruss. You can export straight to Excel. We're going to send it to book 1. Now if we open book 1 up, you can see here that we have all of the selections running. You can hide all this at the top depending where the cell reference has been. You can trigger it to A1. I've triggered it to A7 for some reason. But you have here all of the selections, all of the odds. So this is your live link through Excel into from Betfair. So these are live odds. And now, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail around how the Gruss software works and how you integrate it. You would put your trigger and your odds and your stake in here based on whatever trading or betting strategy you've got. But what we want to do is determine which horse you want to trade on. And if you want to do that automatically, you want to program it in the morning, go off to work, go shopping, take the kids swimming, whatever it may be that you've got on for that day, you want to leave this running. So it would scroll through and pick out the horses that you want to trade, i.e. the ones that we've identified here. You want it to be able to do it itself. So we're going to pop in here. Now what I'm actually going to do is just disconnect this for a second, so we don't skip on a race. Hang on a minute. Let me just have a look. No, sorry, I won't. This is the 2 o'clock, but I've just noticed the horse that we had selected in the 2 o'clock Conversant isn't actually running, so it must have been declared a non-runner for the day. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll move to the next race, but I'm going to set the formula up anyway. So we can put in here select, or whatever you want to call it, at the end, so you're not interfering with the automated data that's pulled through. And then you can do numerous ways. You can do a COUNTIF, you can do a VLOOKUP, but we're going to do a COUNTIF, and we're going to look at the range. And this is the range. We've got it in B. Obviously, if you had it in A, you can put it in A. And the criteria is it needs to match this. And you can see here that none of those horses match the criteria that we have in here. Now, the beauty of using our data is that the naming convention is exactly the same as Betfair, apart from where we have the unique instance where we have dual active horses. So there are about 15 to 20 registered horses at the moment running, which have another horse running with the same name. No, not necessarily running on the same day, course, or time, but it has happened. And when that happens, Betfair change their naming convention. So what they do is they put a suffix after the horse's name with the country of origin. Now we do that to identify the difference within our dashboard, because obviously they're doing it to separate the two in the race, but we want to do it so if you're searching for a specific horse, you know which one you're clicking on. So you may get the odd occasion where you have a horse that has a suffix on it. So I'm just going to give you an example here of what I mean. So let's put in a suffix on, let's put it on Ragamuffin, because that's the next one we'll go to. So say, for instance, this had Germany. Okay. Now what you can do to strip that out is apply some formula before you pull it into here. And I'm just going to show you how you can do that now. Okay, so the formula you need to apply is here. So we're looking for anything left where it finds the open bracket. So everything will be deemed a suffix with an open bracket, and then it'll be the country of origin and then a closed bracket. So you could even put in here a space as well, and that will do the same thing, and it will take that space off the end. So if you wanted to ensure that you are matching everything correctly, you can put that in, that which should take any suffixes out. And if we put it up, it will give you an error for each one of these, and then you can use the if error, and then you can specify that if that value is an error, to use the name as it was, and then that gives you your perfectly filtered name. And you could even apply trim just to be on the safe side in case any rogue spaces appeared at the end. Trim will take those off, and you've put another layer of nesting on there. So that gives you a really robust way to look for a horse name. Okay, so let's change our lookup from column B to column C, and let's drag that down, and we can actually pop that all the way down, assuming that there might be up to 40, 50 horses in a race. And let's go to the next race where we do have or are scheduled to have a runner. So that's the 225. And Ragamuffin, so you see there's only 3 horses in this race, and Ragamuffin is one of those. So you should now see, when we go to sheet 1, against Ragamuffin, a 1. There you go. So there's your identifier. And then you can apply a trigger here to say something along the lines of, if that equals 1, then back, or lay SP, whatever it is you want to do with the GRUS suffixes and coding in place. But that's how you use, very quickly, an export from our database and how you can link it to GRUS. Like I said, you could then take that to the next level, put some coding, VBA, some automation in place, or you could even embed your GRUS software data into our daily file if you'd like, so you can copy it in that way. It's entirely up to you how you do it, but very simple to do because the naming conventions should be the same, and where they're not, where there's a slight variation, like with the suffix that I've put in there, I've shown you now how to get around that. From there, you can just load that, set your GRUS automation up. It will scroll through the markets as long as you get your settings set up in GRUS to switch to the next market on completion or before a certain amount of seconds before the race. And then you put your instruction in as to what you want the software to do. So our bit is there, it's done, you've got your selections, and it's ready to go. Just have a look at the 245, make sure it does the same, just as a demo. So we have the horse Bethersden Boy, and you can see there we've put the one against him, Bethersden Boy, and all looks up and references correctly. That's how you can use our outputs and start your automation journey.